Today I have another fantastic brand new construction home tour for you today, right here in Northeast Bellevue. This home behind me here was built by Terrene Homes. It is a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath house. It's over 4,400 square feet. Let's get into it. If you would like more information while you are watching this video on if this home is still currently available, what its current list price is, etc., please look in the description below. And if it is still for sale, I would love the opportunity to show it to you. Now, when walking through a Terrene home, what I always tell buyers is this: they're not a volume builder just trying to crank out houses. They've been doing this for over 14 years. They've built over 800 homes, and their leadership team alone brings decades of real hands-on experience in everything from community planning to interior design. You can feel that experience in the layout. The flow makes sense, kitchen connects naturally to the great room, and the flex spaces, like you're seeing right here, they actually work for how people live today. They care about design, but they also care about execution. Solid trades, tight supervision during construction, and a real focus on delivering a finished product that holds its value over time. It's one of those builders where the details are not accidental, they're intentional, and that usually translates into long-term pride of ownership and stronger resale potential down the road. Now, check out this. This is a dining room, formal dining situation off of the butler's pantry as we'll head into the kitchen. What we just passed was you kind of have like these dual home office or flex spaces, which we will check out in a bit. Notice the tall ceilings. All of these doors are 8 foot tall throughout. Really brings a nice just open concept, open space to the property. It feels a lot, more substantial than some other builds that I've been in. For example, I've been in some builds that have a lot of square footage and the ceilings are tall, but it still just does not feel as grand. But when you're walking through this Terrene home, you get that with the vaulted ceilings. Now, right now I'm scratching this. This is like really nice engineered hardwood floors. Love the flooring texture throughout. We just kind of passed that coat closet too. There is also a main level multi-generational living here. So you got a primary, or I guess second primary suite with its own bathroom there, which we will take a look at in a bit. But first, let's tackle this kitchen. So this kitchen, Terrene has awesome quartz countertops. Really love the quartz, how thick they are in here. They did not cheapen out. They're not doing this entry-level builder grade stuff that's like 1/2 inch thick. Super thick, nice quartz countertops. I also like the asymmetrical waterfall design to them, where one side of it is that waterfall look and then the other side is exposed. I'm actually digging that. Let me know in the comments below if you like the symmetrical look where both sides are waterfall. I really like that it's asymmetrical here. Now, check out just how large this 2-story ceiling is with that grand fireplace there. Of course, it's also natural gas, and I really love that they also included this really nice natural gas fireplace outside, and both the interior and exterior are heated very well from just the fireplaces alone. Again, I'm feeling how smooth that quartz is. Love it. And then these counters, or these cabinets, what I'm usually checking is I'm letting you know what the texture is like, but I also am checking not only for soft close, obviously, but I just want to make sure the cabinets aren't flimsy. I didn't feel anything that was flimsy through here. This also does come with Thermador appliances. So this is a Thermador dishwasher here. And I love that the door itself on the dishwasher is not flimsy. I've seen plenty, even some Bosch dishwashers have really flimsy door designs where you almost feel like you're going to warp the door if you're grabbing it wrong. This, you don't have to baby it. I really also love the pendant lighting. Let me know in the comments below what you feel about this pendant lighting. I love the overall look of all of this so far. Definitely digging it. And I also like where if you're gonna have a kitchen where you don't have like a main primary window on the kitchen where you're looking at like a view, I do prefer having a large kitchen sink on the island, so it allows you to kind of be able to look at the scenery in your home and really kind of enjoy the surroundings around you. You're not just stuck facing a kitchen wall when you're doing all of your dishes in your kitchen sink. I think it's intentional when builders are putting it on the island like that, if you're not going to be looking out a window with a really nice view. Now, I'm also a sucker for the under cabinet lighting here. I think anytime that a builder throws in the under cabinet lighting, I think it really elevates the space, really kind of makes it feel more like of a premium. And it's actually a rather easy, simple thing to do. Now, these are, I believe this is an Electrolux fridge. It's like a large fridge. Right here, I'm showing off that I am 5'8", 5'9" on a good day. And just notice how tall these large industrial size fridges are. Plenty of fridge and freezer space in here. Yeah, Lux Cool, Electrolux. I've seen these. You know, the brand that I see most often is either this, builders are throwing this Electrolux or Thermador in. Thermador is known for the that vacuum seal where you can press into the fridge and it opens for you. Electrolux isn't doing that. However, I know most people don't really need that feature baked into their fridge here. Now on this side, we of course, you know, you've got your garbage and recycling drawer here. This also did not feel flimsy, it just opens and closes. I can't tell you how many times that I've opened one of these and it feels like it's just gonna rip off if you put any sort of weight into the garbage cans. Again, nice deep drawers. You could definitely put some big pots and pans in these. This kitchen comes loaded with storage space. You can really organize everything to your heart's content and have plenty of countertop space too. It would be hard to imagine someone complaining that there's not enough kitchen to go around here. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking of this kitchen though. Now, this is a Thermador stove as well. I really like these knobs. They're really tactile. That one side just turns on and off the under lighting there in the hood vent, and obviously the other one just works for the hood vent, the blower. Testing out both ovens, so it's dual-sided ovens. You've got two different doors here, and again, they are rather hefty doors. Again, none of these appliances feel like they're just going to break on you easily. Let's also test, I like to test how easy the gas range is. Now, this isn't always like a scientific test that you can do, but a lot of these new construction properties, the burners haven't been, you know, no one's used them at all. Like, so a lot of times when I'm going to test these, it's the first time it's being turned on. So sometimes there's a delay, but all in all, the burners turn on pretty well. It's just like butter, turn them on. And then look, there was a Wi-Fi feature. I wonder how that would work. I do not have one of these appliances that is, I have a dishwasher, a Bosch one that is, you can use Wi-Fi with your phone on it. So it'd be interesting. It'd be a really cool feature to see how you would take advantage of that. Maybe using a phone app on how to, you know, cook in the stove. Let me know in the comments below if you have a Wi-Fi enabled stove. Would love to hear from you. I just opened that, so that was pretty interesting. The cabinet, I don't see that much, where the builder actually puts in a functional cabinet doors above in the hood vent to sort of dress up or hide that hood vent. I thought it was pretty smart that this builder did it. However, I was a little nervous opening that up because one time in one of these new builds, I think it was in Kirkland last year, it was a 4+ mil property. It looked like that, where you could open it up, and then I noticed rather quickly that the builder just didn't glue the panel on properly, so it was like it was easily coming out. So I could have, if I was not careful enough, just pulled off a 100-pound, you know, decorative board that's hiding the hood range right on top of me. So luckily I'm pretty careful with this stuff, but I thought it was cool that this builder threw that in there. Now what you're looking at here is the butler's pantry. I really love butler's pantries. I'd love to hear if you're using your butler's pantries, what you use yours for. This one ties into having the walk-in pantry too, so I think it's smart to kind of put it in the same space here. with how much square footage the house is, you're not really have that much dead space in this house that I'm seeing so far. Yeah, all the cabinets are soft open, soft close. Same with the cabinetry. Again, decent sized walk-in pantry here for sure. Now, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, you're probably noticing, man, we are already 10 minutes into this video. How long is this thing? Maybe you saw that it was a 47-minute video when you clicked on it. 47 minutes can be a long time to listen to one person talk. So I definitely understand what you might be going through if you're not used to someone rambling or telling stories, etc. But you know, I really started these videos coming off naturally of what I do for a lot of my out of town and relocation buyers. I work with a ton of people that have relocated over here all across the United States, and including even international markets such as Canada, England, etc. So I've had a lot of people relocate over to the greater Seattle area, where I started doing private home tours for them, and it kind of just naturally extended to doing these super in-depth tours on YouTube. I found enough audience like watching this detailed work. They like learning about what the cities are like that these properties reside in. They like to know the pros and cons, and they really want to know the detailed work of what these builders are doing. So that's what we do here. I get super in depth on stuff. You're hearing me at, you know, giving you tactile feedback on what things feel like, what textures are like, if a property has any sort of smell to it. Now, this is a new construction property, so it smells like luxury. But we go over all of that. So if that sounds interesting to you, you're definitely in the right spot. Feel free to pause, rewind, you know, whatever you need to do to enjoy the video. I know plenty of people probably skip around. And again, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. My name is Aaron Morrow. I'm a local realtor here in the greater Seattle area. I've been working with buyers, sellers, and investors for well over a decade now, and I've been doing these YouTube home tours for a few years now. So please, you know, think about subscribing if this is something that you're into. Also, please know I have made several playlists based on cities. So if, for instance, this is in Bellevue, so if you're wanting to learn more about Bellevue, I do teach a little bit about the cities and what the communities are like, neighborhoods, in most home tours that I'm doing. So if you want to go check out like a city playlist, I have started making playlists of properties that I've done multiple home tours in within any given city. I've also started some builder playlists that I'm building out here. Since this is my second home featured on the channel that's built by Terrene Homes, I will start a Terrene home playlist. Feel free to go check that out. It'll be in the description, again, after you take a look at this video. Now, this is like a composite like decking. Really love how sturdy this is. Again, this is kind of built for long-term, just low maintenance. You're not really going to have to do anything with this deck. Just keep it clean, but it's going to last a lot longer than you having to properly stain a wood deck, you know, every couple of years or so. Also, since the manufacturers that built these composite decking, they have gotten rid of most of the problems that are associated with it. I know the first generation of like Trex, for instance, they would have an issue where some of them, if they were hit by the sun, could end up bloating and breaking. You're not really getting that with this new material that's in here. Also, I want to note here that natural gas fireplace that I was showing off there produces a ton of heat. It's giving a lot of heat for this, you know, this outdoor covered area. So you could easily spend time out on your patio or your back deck here, even in snow, which we don't get a lot of that over here. Honestly, it's actually been a really, really warm winter, all in all, for the Seattle area. We have not gotten any snow in most of the suburbs that are near sea level or, you know, aren't up in the mountains. I know some areas have gotten a bit of snow, but I think this is the lowest amount of snow that I've seen that we have gotten in several years. I also, just to point out, usually I'm walking even all of the backyard, but the builder did have a please stay off the grass since it was recently put in. So I thought I would kind of go about it by showing you as much as I can. You're going to see later on in the video too that when I'm walking the exterior from the front, I also show over the fence so you can see both sides there. Now check out that chandelier. I think it's such a grand chandelier from this entrance here. I'm really digging the fireplace look, by the way, too. This, I don't see fireplaces with this aesthetics much, and I think it's a bold look, but I'm really digging it. I want to know in the comments below, is this your style? Would you like this type of fireplace? I like the how the accents on the fireplace column itself match, or wall, if you will, match some of the features that they have for the accent walls upstairs and throughout the home. I did point out the speakers there that you saw, so it does come with built-in speakers. I did have, you know, I didn't want you guys to have to listen to blaring music in the back, but they actually had the music where it could fill the whole home from those speakers. So this is a really nice formal family room, or it could, you know, you could use it for media if you put like a TV above the fireplace or whatever you want to do with it. Now, there is a fireplace button, I believe, but that switch just turned it on super easily. There's the media console for the speaker system. You'll notice another thing, that this house comes with plenty of natural light. Terrene Homes did a really good job at the layout of where basically over the overall layout and how the light will flow through the property. I love these windows here. Even on a lot like this that doesn't have beautiful views of something, like, you know, some of the other properties I've shown off on the channel are overlooking like a lake. You can get some peekaboo views of a lake, or really good views of a lake, or you might be looking at like the skyline of Bellevue. This property doesn't really have any killer views like that, but like on a gorgeous blue sky day out like today, you just, I mean, it's so fun to look at just the natural trees that the Pacific Northwest provides in the area. Really a big fan of Bellevue. Now, as we walk back through here, there's this sort of back room, and you could kind of put your AV system back here if you wanted either more storage, or if you did something more advanced. This could definitely be used for multiple things. Let me know in the comments below what you would use a room like this for. The biggest thing that comes to mind for me is AV setup, of course. And again, an 8-foot tall door. All these doors are really tall. The ceiling height is great. Love it. I've been seeing builders do this a lot more, where the vents, the flooring vents for the ductwork for the HVAC, the builders are putting in where it matches the flooring there, so it's kind of a little bit hides them. These are the best that I've seen. Most of them, when you get up close to them, that black area around it is super thick. These are nice and sleek. Take a look at the finishing work. I like to zoom in on details for you, and you know, sort of let you critique the builder themselves by taking a look at every detail of the property. So I'm just trying to capture it on film, and that's actually what I do with my relocation buyers too. I'm never trying to sway someone in any direction. It's not my job to sell the home, especially if I'm not the listing agent. It's my job to help buyers in the greater Seattle area, when I'm working with a buyer and relocation buyers, make informed decisions on what they're buying, and help them, just educate them on what they're looking for. A lot of buyers already know what their tastes are, and, you know, are already, like in this price point, are already super particular about what they're looking for. So most buyers could walk into a property like this and pretty much know within 10 minutes if it's something that they're interested in or not. Now on this upstairs level, I like how this is nice and open. That is the primary bedroom, which we will get to in a bit. Again, I like this railing up here though, where you can look down into your formal family room down there off the kitchen. This is one of many bedrooms up here. The carpet also felt really nice. The padding on it too felt nice and thick. I love what these builders are doing. So when and if they did the technique right, what I've seen is how they get away with not putting any sort of like transition here with the hardwood is when they're doing it properly. And correct me if I'm wrong, I am not a I'm not a flipper myself, nor am I a home inspector, but the technique that I've seen being used is they'll actually roll the carpet underneath and tack it down, and that's how you get it to where the carpet's not fraying there, but it just seamlessly lines up with the hardwood. Such a sleek look. I love it when builders can make it not only appear high-end, but have it be functional where it's not going to fray over time. So these counters, for instance, which these perfectly work for bonus bathroom, or you know, the bathrooms to the spare bedrooms. These counters are closer to like a 1/2 inch thick of the quartz, and that's what I've seen some entry-level builders throwing in as like the primary countertop in the kitchen, and it's just it feels a little dinky to me, but to each their own. Is countertop thickness a big deal to you? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. I also love the window in a bathroom. I always say if you can position the bathroom on an exterior wall where you can get some natural light in there, more the better. But if you're not going to, this is ceramic tile, by the way. If you're not going to, having a lighting source right above the shower is almost a must to make sure that the bathroom doesn't feel too much like a dungeon when you're taking a shower. I think the last thing someone would want is it to feel too dark even during daylight, if you know, unless you're like someone that likes to take showers in the dark. So these are on magnets where you just open and close them. A lot of builders are throwing those in too. As I mentioned before, this property is in Northeast Bellevue. That's actually just minutes away from Lake Sammamish. So we actually have two large lakes here. Lake Washington's the biggest one, and then I would say Lake Sammamish is the second biggest, at least nearest it. Those are the two substantial lakes around here, and you're just minutes away from Lake Sammamish. Both lakes, very beautiful. If you can get some views, you know, if you get a property that has views on either one of them, you're pretty much set. But there's so much to do around Lake Sammamish, so many different parks to get to, and I like this location in Northeast Bellevue. You're not getting that price point that you have to pay when you get close to downtown Bellevue. So being just minutes away from downtown Bellevue and so much centralized where you can get to other parts of the greater Seattle area, I feel like Northeast Bellevue is a really good place to look into if you're not super concerned with living in a niche neighborhood. All of them have their pros and cons and their feels to them. I go more in depth on this on some other older videos. I've gotten some people asking me not to talk about the exact same, you know, neighborhood stuff in each video because it gets repetitive. I have some avid people that binge watch all of these videos. That being said, you know, like if you look into some other communities like Anatai, it has a different feel to it. Somerset has a lot of hills, so that's more of a hilly area. All in all, this is actually a pretty good location to check out. You can easily get to like Seattle in 30 minutes or less if there's not bad traffic. You can easily get to Tacoma within an hour if there's not bad traffic. If you need to get to SeaTac Airport, could easily be obtained in 30 minutes if there's not bad traffic. Basically, you could get to a lot of places. You'll find if you're not from here, these suburbs are clustered together. So Bellevue just touching, you know, Kirkland, Redmond, Sammamish, you know, even getting to like Mercer Island, Newcastle, all of the surrounding suburbs you can easily get to in under half an hour. So they're all just kind of clustered together, but this is a really good spot to take a look at if you're looking to relocate over here. Now, Terrene Homes, they do a lot of these where they're infill, and I've talked about this in some of my other videos where basically a builder is taking like an existing lot that had an old house on it or an older home that was maybe an established community, and basically they're doing a level where they level it and build up some brand new construction. I would say most of the new construction that has appeared on this channel is one of those. I am going to start sprinkling in some more new construction that are in some bigger, larger developments on the channel. I know I've had a lot of clients reach out to me from the channel that also want to start looking into some of those options. Now, they're not in the higher, they're not going to be in established neighborhoods like this where they're pricier. Most the two largest master plan communities we actually have in the greater Seattle area are 10 Trails in Black Diamond, and then we also have one of the largest in the Washington State, which is called Tahali. That's down in Bonnie Lake. And both of them have different price points, but you can get a higher end luxury home, like for example, from other builders down there, quite a bit cheaper than if you're looking in some pricier areas like in Bellevue. However, if you want to be in Bellevue, there's not many large master plan developments in Bellevue going on. So buying new construction in some of these Eastside neighborhoods or these Eastside cities, this is kind of where you are looking at. You're looking at a builder like Terrene Homes or some of the other builders I've showcased on the channel that do infill building, where they're building in these older established communities. This is a really nice large bonus room. Could easily use it as a media room, kids playroom, third office, second office. You could do mixed use, where it's like an office and kids playroom. So much that you could do with that living space. Turn it into a dedicated home theater as well. So many options. This could also be like an adjacent AV closet next to it, or you could use it as a linen closet, extra storage, game closet, whatever you're looking to do with this space. Now, this was another example, that bathroom right there, the guest bathroom being a full back there. It does not have a window attached to it, but it didn't feel too dark because it had plenty of overhead lighting in there. Now, what I believe you're seeing here is one of those fresh air whole house systems, which is designed to bring in fresh filtered air while pushing out stale air, moisture, and dust. Today's homes are built tighter for energy efficiency. They really don't allow these homes to really breathe based on the energy code. So it's more important for a system like this to be installed to help maintain healthy indoor air quality automatically, without having to think about it. It's a smart, energy efficient way to keep the air inside feeling clean and comfortable year round. Now, check out this. This is the laundry room, and it's actually off of the walk-in closet for the primary suite. So I featured a different property on the channel. Go check that out after you watch this one. But I'm seeing that was actually in Sammamish with some killer views of Lake Sammamish on the other side of Lake Sammamish than this one. Go check that out though after watching this video. But I've seen more builders do this where they connect the laundry to the walk-in closet, and the walk-in closet's attached to the primary bathroom, which is attached to the primary suite. Very similar setup to this, and I think it's actually smart. I've had nothing but good comments from that video on that type of setup, and from open houses that I've done. Let me know though what you think of this setup, how that properly flows. Is this something that you'd be into, or are you like, no way, I don't want to have kind of like a seamless walk through experience where I could do a full circle back into the hallway from the primary? I think it's smart though. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Now, this is a really nice large primary bedroom. Again, ceilings feel substantial. You're got some pretty territorial views here from your window. Lots of basically, we have so much evergreen trees around here that anything's a territorial view in the Pacific Northwest or the greater Seattle area. Love looking at our trees. This is a nice, cool neighborhood to live in. Now notice the ceiling in here, it's slightly pitched, so you got that slightly vaulted look, which really does make the space feel a little bit more grand. That is a king size bed that you're seeing with plenty of room on both sides there, and I love the accent wall. Again, what I was saying is this accent wall reminds me similar of what they've got going on the fireplace downstairs. Also, really nice carpet in here. I love how thick the baseboards are too. You don't have like really small dinky baseboards. But yeah, this all felt great. Overall, the detail work that I feel Terrene is doing Terrene Homes is really good. Plenty of overhead lighting too. I was touring it was an older home, 2005, where it was in a community called Laurels in Sammamish. Mid 2000s homes in there, and a lot of the homes, that builder went for doing like built-in speakers instead of overhead lighting. So in the primary, in those in that house, as well as the main living room, you don't have any overhead lighting. It's just the natural light or whatever you're plugging in there. So I'm glad that that's not really a thing anymore. Builders have figured out that you can have your sound systems and hook up your electrical work properly to have proper lighting. Let me know what you think of this. I think, honestly, I have a lot of clients or just viewers that bring this up, and where the window is positioned for the tub is super important. I see how the builder did it off to the side here versus looking right at your neighbors there. I think, and it's tucked high enough where I wouldn't really have an issue with it. Also love the nice large skylight. This is actually one of the larger skylights I've seen in a new build in a while. Now get a load of this walk-in shower. Check out the shower niche. I've seen a few builders. I think I've featured 3 homes on the channel in total, including this one now, that has under shower niche lighting there, or built-in shower niche lighting. I think it's super slick. I want to know in the comments below what you think, though. Are you really into LED lighting? I think it's tasteful for this bathroom. I'm really digging the design of all of the textures. I actually like the wood-like tile here. I think it looks super cool. I really like this walk-in shower. Now you could go check out, I toured a home that was in Kirkland, west of Market. It was a 4+ mil, really large property. Had the heaviest door that I've ever opened in my life. The door felt like it weighed like 1,000 pounds. It like reminded me of a Viking door, but I digress. The reason why I'm bringing this up is it had a really cool bathroom. It was like cathedral style ceilings. The bathroom was dressed to the nines. Check out that bathroom because it had a cool shower niche like this. Again, after you tour this home, if you'd like to see how crazy that bathroom was, I will pin it above. And get a load of what the builder did here. So it looks like there's 2 different glass panels, and the builder did a good job at caulking it properly to seal it in so you're not going to get water everywhere. Now, one thing I did want to point out, I did see a sign here that it said there was under cabinet toe kick lighting here underneath these counters, and it looks or appears that the builder did not put them in place yet, so it looks like they're still working on that. So just imagine some under cabinet glow here. You're going to see what that would look like when we go downstairs and look at the powder room or half bath on the main level. They do have some under cabinet or toe kick lighting, if you will. I'm also seeing some builders on the channel where like the kitchen has both the under cabinet lighting and the toe kick lighting. I think that's pretty cool too. Some people have been commenting that it's a little too much for them. Everyone has different tastes, and a lot of these properties that are being pre-built by these builders, including Terrene Homes, you got to play to the numbers. So a lot of these builders are putting a lot into researching what is selling, what the general public and what maybe the largest pool of buyers would be interested in. You can't really over customize these, or they're going to sit longer if the tastes are just get too specific. And most people, they don't just automatically buy a pre-built property like this where it had absolutely everything that they were looking for. You can really only get that if you're going to build yourself and find land. Problem is we barely have any good lots available around here. I mean, I actually have several lots that are buildable that someone could look into in Echo Lake, which is in the Snoqualmie area. So if that's an area you want to go check out, I actually have an Echo Lake video you can check out. I think there's like 9 lots that we still have available or we could sell right now. They are off market. I believe I have 2 that are on market of the 9, but most of them are off market still. But there are pros and cons to building your own property that you got to think through. I have plenty of clients, like half of the clients that reach out to me or relocate or look to buy land, they start out thinking that they're going to buy land and build themselves. And then when they really look into it, you know, about halfway through or even like near the beginning of their home buying journey, they kind of flip and just start looking for something that's already built for them. Now, there are some builders, if you buy like in some master plan communities, there are some builders that are like semi-custom. You know, every builder has like different things, but if you're buying in a new construction community, for example, like KB Homes is a builder. They don't really do much high-end stuff, but if you're looking for a builder in a more normal price point, you know, KB Homes is one of those builders that does they have a lot of different floor plans available per lot that you're going to be, you know, purchasing like a lot in a community, and then you can pick out all of your features. That is kind of a pro to working with a builder like that, but a lot of people end up finding that going this route where they're buying already something pre-constructed in a neighborhood that they're looking to buy, because the buyer that's buying in Bellevue is a completely different buyer than a buyer that is looking in Pierce County or like some other areas of South King County that they're looking at some new construction developments. There are pros to buying a larger home in a more older established community like this. You get a lot of the time you get a better lot, like a backyard space, than what new construction builders are able to put in other communities. There's a lot of builders in those new construction communities that are kind of trying to maximize space. So really, you're not getting much backyard at all in most of those developments, at least what we're seeing here. Now, I kind of rambled a lot there. I hope you've been enjoying the tour so far and what you're looking at. Now I'm going to be doing what's called the garage door test. I do this on all my videos. Let's test how loud or quiet the garage door is. Not bad at all. You can hear the birds are louder than that garage door. Really good. No loud screeching or clanks, which is something you'd expect on a brand new garage door. But you'd be surprised. I go in some of these new builds and the garage is just simply not put in right. Now, most of the time, granted, a builder can just tweak it and fix what's going on with it. But sometimes, I don't know what the builders are choosing, but most of the time it does come down to just making sure that something has proper WD-40 or whatnot. Now, if it is a side load ramjack system, those do tend to be quieter than like the system that this builder put in. However, I would say I've shown properties that are triple the price of this even on this channel that have much worse sounding garage doors. Very passable if you're someone that hates loud noises. Getting a look at the neighborhood here. Again, this is showing you it's an older established community if you're looking. I didn't look these up or research this specific community, but I'd peg these homes were built before 1990. And, you know, a lot of these homes that you're finding in different parts of Bellevue, 1970s, 1960s, 1980s, 90s. And the builder is helping the neighborhood and helping the overall value for the home ownership for these established areas in these communities, building these newer construction homes. And this siding, by the way, on the house, cement planked. And what you just saw there is the 90% plus high efficiency heat pumps to help with the air conditioning of the property. So you've got proper heating and cooling in this property year round. Looks like this house comes with a vegetation or irrigation sprinkler system based on that box that I just saw there. Now, time for my market report. Here's a list of, looks like there was a typo there. Powder room. Powder room is what I think they meant there. But time for my quick real estate market update report for this zip code, which is 98008. Bellevue actually has a few different zip codes. I think the most popular, or people know of, 98004 the most. But this is in 98008. Like I said, it's the side that faces Lake Sammamish. So for residential homes, we're seeing about the same number of new listings as last year. Sellers are not flooding the market, but here what matters more, pending sales are actually up. That tells me buyers are still out there writing offers, especially when homes are priced right. Now, closings are down compared to last January. That sounds dramatic at first, but remember, we're talking about a small sample size in 1 month. That stands out more to me is days on market. Homes are going pending in about half the time they were last year. That's a big shift. When something is dialed in on price and presentation, buyers are moving quickly. Prices have come down from last year's peak. Median and average sales prices are off double digits. And sellers are not getting those, 103% over asking bidding wars we saw before on the regular. They're landing closer to about 95% to 100% of list price. So the negotiation window is still back in most areas. Inventory has almost doubled, but we're still only at about 1 month of supply. That is still technically a seller leaning market. It's not a fire sale environment, but it is more balanced than it was. If you're a buyer, here's your takeaway. You have more breathing room. You are less likely to get into wild multiple offer situations. You can negotiate again, especially if a home has been sitting. If you're a seller, the market is still active. Homes are selling fast when positioning correctly, but you have to respect the shift. Overpricing right now will cost you time and leverage. Now, we're continuing to go through the primary suite here as I continue this. If you're a seller, now on the condo side, to let you know, 98008, it's a little different right now. So fewer new listings, a few more pending sales, but days on market jumped significantly for condos. Condos are taking a lot longer to sell. Prices are up year over year, but sellers are still giving up a little more in negotiation than before. Specifically in this zip code, as well as a lot of other zip codes in the greater Seattle area, residential single-family homes are detached homes are just more popular than condos for a larger pool of buyers. So big picture for this zip code, the frenzy's gone, but demand is still real. This is a strategic market. If you price a home right, if you're a seller, and read the room correctly, you will definitely win quicker than some other sellers. Now, this is based on interpretation of the data that the MLS has provided me that I've gathered. If you want some real world scenarios right now, I will say this too. It's still early in the year. Seasonally, we almost always see more homes hit the market as we move into late spring and summer. Buyer demand usually ramps up from beginning of the year and carries strong through back to school season. So the next few months will tell us a lot. What I am personally seeing right now across the greater Eastside in places like Bellevue, Redmond, Issaquah, and Sammamish is that bidding wars are starting to pop back up in certain areas, especially in the more entry-level price points. I have 4 active buyers at the moment. 2 actually came from this channel, and several of them have run into multiple offer situations. And what I mean by that specifically is I actually have more buyers I'm working with than the 4, but to be clear, I've had 4 that have ran into multiple offer situations. One of the wildest ones recently went about $150,000 over list price, and the winning buyer waived all contingencies. Was a quick 2-week cash close above list price. Now, that does not mean every home is doing that. It is very price specific and location specific, but it does tell us demand is not dead. It is selective. So if rates hold steady, I would not be surprised, or if they go down, I would not be surprised to see a competitive spring into certain pockets. If rates jump again, that could cool things down. We just have to wait and watch. If you're a buyer, you need a strategy going in. If you're a seller, timing and pricing are going to matter even more. And if you want help navigating multiple offer situations or even finding opportunities that are not fully exposed on the market yet, like off-market properties as a buyer, I do this every day. I help people find off-market deals. So there is a right way to play in this market. If you need an agent that can help you through it, please feel free to reach out. Now, what did you think of the primary suite there? I know it's not the most grand primary suite, but if you are looking for a property that has main level living or kind of future proof or even multi-generational living, I'm glad that the builder Terrene Homes has thrown it in here. Now, you get almost basically 2 front offices here. One does have that closet. I mean, this technically is a front bedroom here, and the other one could be used as a bonus room or an office, but you could have dueling offices in here. I imagine two couples, or like maybe like a couple, and they both of them have their own work from home business or something, or you know, it'd just be really interesting to see how this setup would work if you had two different home offices in the front here. I think there's a lot that someone can do with this space, but I would love to hear from you, my dear viewer. What are you thinking? Let me know in the comments below. I love the glazed look of these French doors here. It does provide some of that privacy and would reduce some of the sound there. Now, we did walk over it when you saw it, but I did like the front entry pattern. It's almost like a herringbone pattern. Could be completely misjudging the pattern on the floor there, but I like it that Terrene Homes threw in that pattern in the engineered hardwood in this front here, kind of broke it up and did something a little different. I've seen more builders do this in the 90s, and I think it's cool if Terrene Homes is kind of bringing it back. Check out that pattern. What do you think about it though? I really dig it. I think it's tasteful and it kind of blends in well. It's not like just right in your face or anything like that, but I think it does give a little bit of a separation, and you could tell, you know, more effort goes into doing a pattern like that than just doing even horizontal engineered hardwood flooring. The front two, I'm a sucker for brick and wood paneling above. Love all of it. I think this is such a great type of style of home to do in the Pacific Northwest. Really digging this whole front, beautiful front lawn here. I love this property, but feel free to comment below. Would love to know from you what you think. And there you have it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this beautiful home tour. Again, built by Terrene Homes. My name's Aaron Morrow, local realtor here in the greater Seattle area. I've been working with buyers, sellers, and investors in King, Pierce, and Sammamish counties for over a decade now. If you're looking to make your move over here to the greater Seattle area in the next 9 days or 9 months, or you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact info can be found below in the description. I would love to show you how I can make your next move over here or investment a smooth one. And of course, if you're looking for some more property tours, or you'd like to see what others have said about working with me, look somewhere on the screen right here. And of course, until next time, I hope to be showing you some more property tours, and please subscribe to me for more real estate shenanigans. Have a great day.